What is up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to week number 22 of the Weekly Headliner Update. Now, if you're new to the Weekly Headliner, this is where we talk about what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and we also recap some of those important topics from the previous week as well. Now, this week, we're going to be talking about a returning legendary character that's going to be rolling around tonight, top legendary character in Marvel Strike Force. We also have the second iteration of Colleen Wing that's going to be rolling back around on Thursday. But the biggest thing, guys, is that this week we're expecting a patch. So we're going to talk about what to expect. Definitely expecting some new character updates, for that additional Infinity Watch character. Blue ISOs, we're definitely expecting that we're going to get some sort of an update there. And also, there's a character. I'm definitely hoping that we're going to be gathering some information here or getting some information on a character that's been around in Marvel Strike Force now for almost a year, but it's still not fountable as of yet. So hopefully we're going to get some information there. We're going to talk about all of this and more, guys, on this week's Weekly Headliner. And we're starting right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. And the first thing that we're going to talk about this week, of course, are our blitzes. The first one is going to be starting off tonight, and it's going to be America Chavez. Now, I know America Chavez is not a great character, but she's a part of that Young Avengers team, a team that I like very much. Not great, but, a team that I like very much. I think they're quite fun, and I do have some sort of I just like the team, right? America Chavez is not great, but this is part of celebrating Pride Month, so definitely they're going to be doing this all month with introducing or doing blitz for characters and events for characters, that are part of Pride, right? But yeah, I think America Chavez is actually, with the right stars and the right red stars on her, she can do some damage. This special attack right here, 250% damage plus 50% per Young Avenger or Hero Brawler ally. So listen, not an ideal great character, but on that Young Avengers team, she can definitely do some damage here. Now, the next blitz, which is going to be rolling around on Thursday, probably a more important blitz, right? For a lot of players in this game, the Heroes for Hire team looks sensational. I really do like what they're able to do. I have my 288K team without War Boost. I think with War Boost, they're about 333K. And they got me 3 defensive win this past war. So a very much baby Heroes for Hire team and Plat 1. So people can blow through, teams. But it required some good strategic sort of operation in order for them to be able to eventually mow down that team. So this is definitely going to be the more important blitz for this week. And in terms of numbers that we're looking at right now, this was the Misty Blitz predictions. I think for Colleen Wing, top 1% was about 42 million or so. So I think the numbers are probably going to be relatively the same, right? 1 to 100 seems extremely high, but as players' rosters start to build and get stronger, you're going to start to see these numbers climb up a little bit. But the good news is that your roster will also be getting stronger as well. So you'll be pushing for some higher numbers. I am currently sitting at 28 mil right now. When you're watching this video, the blitz will have already ended. I'm recording this the day before. So I normally get about 28 million or so for that top 2 to 3%, so that's usually good enough to get me about 55 shards. So, look at this, figure out where you can land. There's going to be a blitz prediction rolling around on Thursday, so you can get more of an idea of what those numbers will look like. But definitely blitz as hard as you can for America Chavez, but of course, or as large as you want to, but then for sure, Colleen Wing, when that rolls around, make sure that you guys go pretty hard on that one too. And then rolling around tonight, guys, we have Dr. Octopus. So his legendary event is kicking off tonight. I think Doc Ock is the best legendary in the game. I think he's the most plug and play legendary character that you can get. I use him on my arena defense team. I use him on arena offense. Sometimes every now and again, I may take him off arena defense because, I know that there's Kestrel out there. So somewhat countered, right? But I still do like him very much. I have him at G15 right now. I'm going to be bringing him into my Dark Dimension 4 section and Legendary. I'm almost done. I'm almost ready to get there right now. We finally got Emma down in that city node last night, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So we're very close now to being able to start Legendary, and Doc Ock is definitely going to be a part of that team. And I think a lot of players use Doc Ock as well. Phenomenal character. You do need X-Force characters to unlock him, so filter your roster. Look at those X-Force characters. If you're not going to unlock him now, at least start putting a plan in place so that you can get him. The most difficult character to get on the X-Force team is Negasonic, because she's in Doom 1.9. So that's pretty difficult to get to. But I did make a video this past week talking about how to plan to get to some endgame content even as an earlier player in this game. So take a look at that. As a matter of fact, I'll link it somewhere around here, in this video, so that you guys can take a look at that if you're an earlier player. But yeah, X-Force, they're a very good team, very good war offense team. Actually, they're mainly a war offense team, so you're probably not going to invest into them a lot other than for war or for this event. Deadpool can be used outside of the team. He's a merc character, so you can use him for that payday event. But I think the star of that team really is X-23. And the good news about her is that you can actually use her to unlock 2 legendary characters. She has that X-Men tag, so you can use her to unlock Magneto. And of course, you can use her as well to unlock Dr. Octopus. I find X-23 to be amazing and sensational character. Hate going against her though in Dark Dimension. Trust me, that no 12 node in DD4, man, is no joke with X-23. And there's 3 of them that are in that node. But in your hands, she's sensational and she's a phenomenal character. Speaking of Magneto, Magneto's event is going to be around next week on June 7th. So that's going to be Monday of the next week here. Like you can use X-Men and Brotherhood characters to unlock him. There's also going to be a double drop event, Gift of the Gathering, where you can get some extra shards for characters that are Brotherhood and X-Men characters, to get that double drop for him there. I think the double drop event for the X-Force characters would have already passed or still currently going on right now for you. So definitely take advantage of that if you guys need to. All right, and a couple other things going around this week. So I just saw this event actually, so I definitely should mention this. We have pretty much, this is going to be ending tonight, right? When you're watching this video, this is going to be ending tonight. The Dress to Impress. This is where you're going to be able to earn those pink flash bits, by spending your campaign energy. So that's going to be ending tonight. So if you care about getting some more bits, make sure that you're, using your campaign energy. If you want to use some extra core refreshes, you absolutely can. I already used my pink flash bits on the Thor costume. I didn't really care too much about Wanda and Vision. Not that I don't like the costumes. I think they're actually okay. I like the Wanda one very much. I think bringing it back to the WandaVision show, right? So I think that's actually pretty cool. But up to you. Remember that I think there's a couple that on June 7th, I think that those convert over at a 60% rate to just your regular costume bits. So just try to, if you want to use them, make sure that you use them before that date. We also do have a relic hunt rolling around this Friday where you can use your hand team. So filter your roster by your hand team and, farm the character shards if you want to farm your hand so that you can do this relic hunt event. It has gotten better. They did rework the rewards that you're able to get from it. So they, increase these by double the amount, for both the first time rewards and I believe also for the recurring rewards as well. So getting some extra catalysts, those ABCs, the SBCs, those can be extremely tricky. So any extra amount that you can get, I think, is worth it. It sounds kind of weird to build up a hand team just to do this, but it's not a crazy amount of investment that you have to put into them. 65 gear tier 9. It's not a lot of gear. Yes, it's some gold to get the characters up, but I mean, for the most part, the goal, you're probably going to want to bring characters up eventually later on to like 65 and gear tier 12 anyway. So yeah, do what you got to do, for the hand event. Not a great event. There is going to be a double drop version for the hand characters for those campaign characters that you could use for the Relic Hunt event. That is going to be the day before. So Friday, June 4th is the Relic Hunt event. And then on June 3rd, Thursday, is where you are going to have the double drop event. So mark it on your calendar to make sure that you're, taking advantage of that. Then we also do have RTA that is ending this week. So right now, we have this iteration where we're getting these Shatterstar, shards. Curious to see, once this is done on Friday, who that next character is that they're going to be adding to the RTA pass. I would have hoped that they actually would have added Anti-Venom. He just went into the premium orbs. I don't know if they're still planning on, throwing him in there. Also, there is not availability for some of these X Factor characters. So we know Longshot is going to be going to the War Store, but Multiple Man, I think Multiple Man is data mined to be going to a campaign. No, we know Polaris is in the Strike Pass, but, Shatterstar is already gone here. So I guess the only other character I can realistically think about is probably Anti-Venom. since he only went to the premium orb. So maybe they're probably going to be throwing him into the RTA season, which I guess is theoretically fine. He's such an important character for that team. Trust me, in Dark Dimension 4, if you do not have AV, Symbiote Spider-Man, at least those two characters, it becomes really an abysmal, experience, especially in Note 12. So definitely, I'm hoping that they put some character of good value here. And I'm hoping that it's probably going to be AV. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. All right, so shifting to what we're going to be expecting for this week in regards to the patch. So we did get a we got another character. We got an update that Moondragon is going to be added to the Infinity Watch team. If you haven't seen it yet, it is on the Marvel Strike Force page. So Heather Douglas, aka Moondragon, is going to be added to the Infinity Watch team. They gave a pretty good synopsis here of her background, who she is, how she develops her powers there. So I think that's pretty good. I like that whenever they're introducing a new character, that they actually provide some sort of a backstory in regards to who in the world they are. But yeah, pretty good. In terms of the traits here, hero, cosmic skill, support, Infinity Watch. Skill was sort of a debatable trait. I think players were expecting that she might be a bio character, but I think skill is fine. She's a telepath, but technically she learned her telepathic abilities, and she also learned martial arts. So to me, that looks very much skill, but I guess you could make a case that maybe she could be a bio character or mystic, or somebody mentioned mutant. I'm not quite sure I see that one, but yeah, skill seems fine to me as far as I'm concerned. But Kit looks very strong. Basic ability here, 280% damage. If she has charge, she's mind controlling a character to attack the primary target. She's also increasing their damage by 40%. So basic is good. They mentioned applying assist now to one random unannounced character. So the unannounced character, I think a lot of us are speculating that is going to be Phyla-Vell. So Phyla-Vell is another Infinity Watch character that was mentioned in the comics. Also, Phyla-Vell had a romantic relationship with Moondragon. Very interesting story on that. So you can read it up on some of those Marvel comic pages there. But I will say this, Phyla-Vell was married to somebody else, and then Moondragon came on in and took her. I'm being dramatic, but took her, and then those two were an item. So in other words, I look at Moondragon and I say, you're a home wrecker. It's pretty much basically what you are, Moondragon. You are a home wrecker. That's all I got to say. But yes, we're expecting that the next character is going to be Phyla-Vell. So we should find out that information this week. Her special ability, Moondragon's special ability, is bananas, man. First of all, she's gaining this on turn 1. If the primary target is a protector with immunity, she's flipping immunity on the primary target and then applying immunity to all Infinity Watch allies. Remember, they're already getting safeguard, so whatever positive effects that they were getting anyways, you weren't going to be able to flip it, and then now you can't land any negative effects on them. So with immunity, they're going to have immunity and then safeguard. Oh boy, it's this team is going to be insane, which also kind of brings me to the point. I don't know how fun, like initially this is going to be a fun team, right? And then when you start seeing Infinity Watch all over the arena shard and it's just Infinity Watch versus Infinity Watch, I'm not quite sure how much fun that is going to be. I'm afraid they're just going to be Black Order 2.0. Those are just kind of like my thoughts, but she's clearing all positive effects from all enemies. She's attacking a primary target, which by the way is super strong, clearing all positive effects from all enemies, which is very similar to Emma Frost. Attacking primary target with 320% damage, plus apply slow for 2 turns and reduce the speed bar by 50%. She's healing, allies. She's giving them defense up and deflect. She's also getting 1,000% focus to do this. Ultimate, she does this on turn 3. It looks like she's healing. She's defensing down all enemies for 2 turns, and then she's attacking for 400% damage. A lot of other things that we need to find out, right? Stats, like what do those look like? Passive abilities, super strong on spawn. She's gaining charge if she has 3 or more Infinity Watch allies. And then whenever she kills, so unkill, gain charge, which is whenever she kills, she's going to be gaining charge. So a couple other ways for her to gain charge, as well. And yeah, some other additional abilities where she's applying defense up, deflect, if a character goes below 50%. So as a support character, she definitely provides additional sustain for that team. So looks strong. I'm just worried that Infinity Watch is going to be far too strong. We did also get some information on how she is going to be released. How you're going to be able to get Moondragon shards. So the next Pride event is one of the first chances to recruit. So one of the first chances to recruit Moondragon to your Infinity Watch team, brighten your roster with Moondragon character shards and more with this limited time event. So they kind of go through, you know, the event. The Unity Orb is going to be rolling back around. You can open up Unity Orbs to gain gold, gear, and select characters with the limited time event. So I'm assuming that the characters, I'm hoping that the characters that they're going to include in this Unity Orb are going to be characters like the X Factors, you know, so we don't have any other way of getting characters like Polaris other than Strike Fast. Jetterstar was just RTA, is going to be ending on Friday. We heard that Mum is going to be going to a node, but we still don't know when Longshot. We also got an update down here that Longshot is going to be going to the War Store, which I think is probably sort of the best case scenario that a lot of us were expecting. I thought that he was going to end up in the Blitz Orb as an exclusive orb only character, so I'm glad that he's not going there. War Store is still very crowded, but I don't know. I didn't want him to go into the Blitz Orb, and I thought there was a potential chance that they might take Cull out and then throw, you know, Longshot in there. So I'm glad I didn't do that. I think the War Store was the best case scenario that we could have possibly gotten, but we still do need to know how these other characters are going to be available. So I'm hoping that we're going to be getting that information sometime this week. Some other information that I'm expecting this week as well is blue ISOs. So far, we know that blue ISOs are going to be obtainable through the Doom raids, and we've learned so far, right, from last week's blog post that the requirements for Doom raids are going to be difficult. While the Doom raids themselves will be easier to do, there is going to be more difficulty for you to get into those Doom raids because you will need level 5 green ISOs, level 4 at least for the first couple nodes. First nodes there, only level 4 ISOs on characters, but after that you're going to need level 5 ISO, level 5 green ISOs on your character. So that's going to be quite challenging, you know, to do. So I'm wondering if there is going to be more availability for ions, green ions, the green ions. I'm hoping that we're going to find out some information about that. And of course, blue ISOs. I know Doom raids initially, but is there going to be a campaign, you know, for those blue ISOs as well? I mentioned this in the very beginning. We're changing up they're changing up the milestone orbs, right? The old watermelon orbs are going to be going away. And which they've now introduced these new sort of, you know, ability map orbs that we have in game, you know, just right down here, the T3 orbs, the T2 ability orbs, the T1 ability orbs. But yes, this ability orb is still in the game. I'm wondering whether or not there are going to be, whenever that's going to be changing exactly this week. And with that also being the case, the milestone orbs, which are still dropping those fragments, I would assume would also change as well. And speaking of the milestone orbs, Emma Frost, we have no idea. I think she was released last August, and yet there is still no way for you to get Emma Frost shards. A lot of players keep on asking me, hey, how can I get Emma Frost shards? I'm like, well, you can only get her through offers, and you can get red stars on her. That's pretty much basically all that you can do with Emma Frost. So I'm hoping that we're going to be getting some more direction here on where Emma Frost is going to go. They mentioned that a while back that there were going to be some seasonal milestone orbs, but still yet we don't really have much information on that. So I'm hoping that this week we're going to be getting some information on where Emma Frost is going to be going. And I think it's about time that we do get that information. It's almost a year now since Emma Frost has been released into the game. I think a lot of the delay was mainly because of how they had 3 different gold milestone events for her. So that has probably attributed to some of it. But still, I think that they should at least remove Coulson from the milestone orbs and throw Emma Frost in there and leave. And if you're going to leave Symbiote Spider-Man there, I think it's time that he probably goes somewhere else too. They have locked the entire Symbiote team behind orbs, Scream in the arena orbs, AV now in premium, and also, you know, Symbiote Spider-Man now in those milestone orbs. So definitely a needed update for Emma Frost on where she is going to be going. I think would definitely be very good. So I think this is all that I had to talk about this week. Probably some more information that we'll talk about as the patch day goes live, and probably after patch day, I'll be doing some more videos, you know, on sort of like my reaction to things that they are changing and how they're going forward. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you guys so much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.